Hey everybody, this is Rick Vanderzee again, and today we are going to talk about how to write a book. And here are the two books I have written. This one is Trust is Fiction, The Spirits Inside Me, and this one is Decimated Forgiveness. They're both books of poetry, and a lot of the poems have turned into songs. So, writing is a place in which you can unleash your expression, imagination, life experiences, your dreams, creativity, and ideas to the world. When you write, you can go anywhere you want to, do anything you want with anyone, and explore and adventure things you can't do in everyday life. Decide what you want to write about. Choose something you have a great amount of interest in, something you are passionate about, and that has a large meaning to you. Use your imagination if needed or desired. Let your creative juices flow, and the result should be satisfactory and amazing. Once you decide what you want to write about, study that subject. Think about it as you go about your day. Then once you feel like you've absorbed enough, let your pen hit the paper or your fingers hit the keys, whichever you prefer. Me, I like to write everything on paper first and then type it out later so I can make corrections if needed as I'm typing. And if I have it on paper, it gives me some sort of insurance in case it gets deleted or lost, because let's face it, if you're writing 100 pages, 200 pages, 300 pages, whatever, how many, the worst thing you want to do is lose all that information and have to redo it over from start and have many of your great creations lost. So yeah, if to have it on paper, at least you have two things you'd have to lose all your creative writings and stuff. For me, I do poetry and songs as well as some short stories and kid stories. In poetry, you can write about multiple topics. So once you get them all written, you will want to organize them in order of where you want each one in your book. You can do that in many ways. Put your favorites first to last. Mix it up with some in the beginning, middle, or end. Maybe do it by theme. Put your happy poems in the start and go on to sad and angry ones later. You could do it serious to funny, love to hate, whichever you feel is best to arrange it. In my first book, Decimated Forgiveness, the audience told me that it was a little too angry for them or sad or depressing. So in my second one, Trust is Fiction, I started off with the happy ones in the beginning and the ones with more positivity in the beginning, and then put the ones that were sadder or with more anger later on, so that I could show that that's not all I write about. And it's a lot easier to write about angry and sad things anyway, because that just comes and it's easy to express those feelings. I don't know how that is with everybody else, but that is for me anyway. Now, when you're writing poetry, a lot of times you want to find rhyme words. So to do that, one of the techniques I use is, let's say the word is speak. I will go from A to Z in the alphabet and try to find every word that rhymes with speak. So like if I go A, nothing really rhymes. B, beak. C, nothing. D, deek. E, eek. F, freak. G, geek or Greek. H, I, J, K. L, leak. M, meek. N, O, P, peak. Q, R, reek. S, sneak or seek. T, U, V, W, week, or the other week. X, Y, and Z. So basically you have those words you can choose from to rhyme with. Now, you want to look at your poem or your song or whatever you're writing, and you want to choose whichever one fits best out of those rhyme words to go with the flow of that song or poem. So with speak, if you can't find anything, then maybe you want to change the word speak to something else. and then find a different rhyme word. You want to keep everything flowing smoothly and the best possible. Once you have it organized, you could look into whether or not you want to add illustrations and what do you want for the cover photo. Like this one, I had an old man in a cave with a fire, basically showing he is sad and lonely as the way he sits there. And for this one, it's an angel figure in the clouds with the sun breaking through. So I chose those. And for illustrations, let's see what I got here. I didn't do too many illustrations, but like here, I was working with somebody for a little bit, and she created this picture for me. And the name of that poem is Wandering Lure. And that's the picture for it. And there's some other pictures, but I didn't go too far into illustrating in my books. Now, finally, you want to choose which publisher you want to go with. And you want to look them all over and see which one works best for the book you wrote, and you want to reach out to them. So basically, you want to read your book and look over the publishers and see which one fits best to work with you and would be the best for your book. Now, when we go into a poem itself, like let's do this one, for example. This one's called Cold and Broken. I don't know if I can see that or not, but I'll just read it. Like the first line is, I dream this place is so open. So right from the start, you get the picture that this place is open and it's a dream, So like maybe like the ocean or a field with not many hills or trees or people around. The next line is, the lights are dim and the sky is broken. So you get a picture of not much light and the sky being a broken sky. Then the next line is, the world is so cold and the stars are falling. So now you've got a dark place and you feel cold and the stars are falling. So you can see stars falling in the sky in this open field that's a dream. Now the next line is, I'm bleeding and it isn't even winter. And that's a very key line, because what that tells you, and it's very descriptive, what that tells you is, because you already know it's cold, now you know I'm hurting and it's already cold, but it's not winter yet. So what that tells you is, I'm hurting and it's not even to its worst point yet. So it's not even winter yet. And once it gets winter, that tells you the worst is to come. So that's like the setup for this poem. And that's a good way to get something started. And then you just, from that point, once you got that description to the audience of those things like that, that's a good way to go and further the poem. You can reach off of that starting point and then build to the middle and the end off of that. And thank you very much for being with me today and listening to how to write a book. I appreciate it. Rock on, baby. Have a good day.